Hello and welcome to the science class. My name is Teacher John. I'm going to take you through Science Primary 5, Term 1, the last topic. And the topic is the digestive system. In our previous lesson, we looked at what digestion is. We said digestion is a process by which food is broken down into smaller soluble particles, which can be absorbed into the bloodstream. We also looked at the alimental canal, and we said alimental canal is a muscular tube that runs from the mouth to the anus. Then we also looked at parts of the alimental canal. We said mouth, gullet, stomach, duodenum, ileum, colon, rectum, and anus as parts of the alimental canal. So we want to begin with digestion in the mouth. You should know that digestion begins in the mouth. I repeat, digestion starts in the mouth, or it begins in the mouth. So when we eat food, digestion begins right away from the mouth. Remember, we said we have two types of digestion. We have chemical digestion and mechanical digestion. So let's begin with digestion in the mouth. Now in the mouth, we have, I've said digestion starts in the mouth, and the mouth has saliva, has teeth, and it has the tongue. So these three parts that are found in the mouth are very, very important during digestion. So we are going to look at each one of them and how it is important during the process of digestion. Let's begin with saliva. How is saliva important during digestion? Or the importance of saliva during digestion. Saliva has three functions. One, saliva lubricates food. Saliva lubricates food. Then you can also say saliva softens food. Then saliva cools hot food. I repeat, saliva lubricates food. To lubricate is to moisten. Moistens food. Moistens food. Saliva moistens food, or saliva lubricates food. Then you can also say saliva softens food, or saliva makes food soft. So when you put food in the mouth, saliva helps to make that food soft. Then lastly, saliva cools hot food. When you put hot food in the mouth, that food can be cooled down using saliva before you swallow it. We look at the importance of the tongue. How is the tongue important during digestion? The tongue has two functions. One, it rolls food into bolus. It rolls food into bolus. Now, bolus are the round balls of food that are made by the help of the tongue. So when you eat food after chewing, that food is rolled into a bolus, or into a ball-like structure called bolus. And what makes that food bolus is the tongue. So the tongue rolls food into bolus. Then number two, the tongue mixes food with saliva. The tongue mixes food with saliva. So when you are eating food, the tongue helps to mix the food with saliva. Next, we look at the importance of the teeth in digestion. How are the teeth important during digestion? The teeth breaks down food into smaller particles. The teeth break down food into smaller particles. NB, something to note. The digestive juice produced in the mouth is called saliva. The digestive juice produced in the mouth is called saliva. So this saliva is the one which softens food, cools hot food, and moistens or lubricates food. Then we have what's called enzymes. The other time we looked at enzymes. The enzyme in the mouth is called salivary amylase. Salivary amylase or ptyalin. Ptyalin or salivary amylase. This is the enzyme found in the mouth. Then we have this salivary amylase speeds up the digestion of cooked starch. Remember, when we were looking at enzymes, we said an enzyme is a chemical substance that speeds up the digestion of food. So, which enzyme speeds up the digestion of cooked starch in the mouth? That enzyme is called salivary amylase. Another name to make salivary amylase is ptyalin. So this is the enzyme that speeds up the digestion of cooked starch. Now, cooked starch is food which has been cooked and it's rich in starch or carbohydrates. For example, if you cook sweet potatoes, if you cook matoke, rice, posho, all those are cooked starch. Once you cook them, they fall under cooked starch and their digestion begins in the mouth by the help of salivary amylase or ptyalin. Let's look at from the mouth, food goes to the stomach through the gullet or esophagus. I repeat, from the mouth, food goes to the stomach through the gullet or esophagus. So let's look at the importance of the esophagus or gullet. The gullet or esophagus directs food to the stomach. Gullet or esophagus directs food to the stomach. It directs food to the stomach. Or you can say it is a passage of food to the stomach. So once you put food in the mouth, after chewing, that food will go to the stomach through the gullet. So the gullet directs or passes food to the stomach. Then by which process does food move from the mouth to the stomach through the gullet? That process is called peristalsis. In our previous lesson, we looked at what peristalsis is. And we said peristalsis is a wave-like movement of food along the alimentary canal. Peristalsis is a wave-like movement of food along the alimentary canal. Peristalsis is a wave-like movement of food along the alimentary canal. So, the gullet or esophagus is part of the alimentary canal. So food from the mouth moves to the stomach by the process called peristalsis. Next we look at peristalsis in the gullet. So this is how peristalsis takes place. These balls of food are called bolus. Then this organ is called the gullet. We say the gullet directs food to the stomach from the mouth. Then from there we look at digestion in the stomach. When food reaches the stomach, the stomach stores food for a short time. The stomach stores food for a short time. Then that food, after being stored for a short time, it is churned into chine. So the stomach churns the food. To churn food is to break down food into smaller particles by the help of the stomach walls. Remember, when we were looking at types of digestion, we said we have chemical digestion and mechanical digestion. And we said mechanical digestion takes place in the mouth by the help of the teeth. Then it also takes place in the stomach by the help of the stomach walls. So stomach walls churn food or break down food into smaller particles called chine. So what is chine? Chine simply means a mixture of food that has been broken down into smaller particles with digestive juices and gastric juice. So the stomach walls produce gastric juice, and this gastric juice mixes with food to form what you call chine. So they ask the importance of the stomach. The stomach stores food for a short time, then the stomach also churns food into chine. The components of the gastric juice. We say this gastric juice is a digestive juice that is produced by the stomach walls. It is produced by the stomach walls. Components of the gastric juice, there are three of them. One, we have pepsin, renin, then hydrochloric acid. Now, pepsin and renin, these are enzymes. These are enzymes in the stomach. Pepsin and renin are enzymes in the stomach. Pepsin and renin are enzymes found in the stomach. Then we have what's called hydrochloric acid. Now, this hydrochloric acid is not an enzyme. For it, it's an acid, and its major function is it kills germs that come along with food. It kills germs that come along with food. So, renin and pepsin, then hydrochloric acid. These are the three components of gastric juice. Now, what's the function of pepsin? Pepsin speeds up the digestion of proteins. Remember, chemical digestion of proteins begin in the mouth, in the stomach. Chemical digestion of proteins begin in the stomach. When you talk about food rich in proteins, you talk about beans, meat or beef, pork, soya beans, groundnuts, and so on. So when you eat such foodstuffs, digestion will start in the stomach by the help of an enzyme called pepsin. Then we have an enzyme called renin. This renin clots milk proteins. Renin clots milk proteins. Renin clots milk proteins. When you say clots milk proteins, it simply means that it separates proteins in milk from fats. Remember, milk is rich in proteins, rich in fats. So the two can be separated by the help of renin. So renin clots milk in proteins. Uses of hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid kills germs that come along with food. Kills germs that come along with food. The stomach. So when food goes to the stomach and it has germs, hydrochloric acid helps to kill those germs. That's why we say it kills germs that come along with food to the stomach. Then we have another function of the hydrochloric acid. It stops the action of salivary amylase in the stomach. It stops the action of salivary amylase in the stomach. Now, salivary amylase helps in, it speeds up the digestion of cooked starch in the mouth. Now, when you swallow that food as it goes to the stomach, remember that food has salivary amylase. So when that food reaches the stomach, the action of salivary amylase stops because of hydrochloric acid. So in other words, salivary amylase can only speed up the digestion of cooked starch in the mouth, not in the stomach. The moment it reaches the stomach, that action stops because of because of hydrochloric acid. Remember, salivary amylase works best under basic condition, which is in the mouth. Then number 3, it provides acidic condition for pepsin to digest proteins. Now, we've said pepsin helps in digestion of proteins, but this digestion of proteins cannot take place when there is no acidic condition. So what provides the acidic condition in the stomach is hydrochloric acid. So hydrochloric acid helps to provide acidic condition for digestion of proteins to take place by the help of pepsin. So pepsin works under acidic condition, and which acidic condition? Hydrochloric acid, the one which provides the acidic condition for easy digestion of proteins by the help of pepsin. Then we have substances absorbed in the stomach. We have alcohol, simple sugars, common salt, and medicine. Medicine, common salt, alcohol, and simple sugars are absorbed in the stomach. When you talk about common salt, we are meaning iodized salt, the salt that we put in the food that we cook. So these substances are absorbed in the stomach, and that's why excessive drinking of alcohol can cause what we call peptic ulcers or gastric ulcers. So those ulcers are caused by alcohol in the stomach. When you hear that somebody has ulcers, simply means that they have wounds in the stomach, and sometimes those wounds are caused by excessive drinking of alcohol. But that doesn't mean that people who have ulcers drink alcohol. Sometimes you may have ulcers not because you drink alcohol, but because, especially if you stay hungry for a long time, the stomach walls will produce hydrochloric acid. And if this hydrochloric acid does not find the food in the stomach, this hydrochloric acid will burn your stomach and cause wounds, the one we are calling peptic ulcers or ulcers. So excessive drinking of alcohol can lead to ulcers in the stomach. NB, chemical digestion of proteins start in the stomach. Chemical digestion of proteins start in the stomach. Then we have, after the stomach, food goes to the duodenum. After the stomach, food goes to the part called duodenum. Now, duodenum is where digestion of fats take place. Fats are digested in the duodenum. I repeat, fats are digested in the duodenum. Then the duodenum, apart from helping with the digestion of fats, it also receives bile juice from the liver. It receives bile juice from the liver. We are going to look at a diagram showing the digestive system. You will see where the liver is. Then it also receives pancreatic juice from the pancreas. It receives pancreatic juice from the pancreas. Now, let's look at the liver. The liver produces bile juice. The liver produces bile juice. Then, this bile juice emulsifies fats or breaks down fats for easy digestion. The liver produces bile juice, and this bile juice emulsifies fats. To emulsify fats simply means to break down fats into smaller particles for easy digestion. So, that process of breaking down fats for easy digestion is called emulsification of fats or emulsifying fats. To emulsify fats simply means to break down fats for easy digestion. To break down fats for easy digestion. That's what we mean by emulsification of fats. Alright, then we've been looking at bile juice. We said bile juice is produced by the liver, and the importance of bile juice is to emulsify fats. And I've said to emulsify fats means to break down fats for easy digestion. Then bile juice is stored in a part called gallbladder. Gallbladder stores bile juice, and this gallbladder is found inside the liver. So we look at the digestive system. We have parts that make up the digestive system. For example, we have the gullet or esophagus. Then we have the stomach. This is the stomach. This is the pancreas. Remember, the spelling of the word pancreas ends with letter S, not E. Pancreas. Then we have colon, ileum, rectum, anus, appendix, gallbladder, then the liver. So when you eat food, from the mouth, food goes to the stomach through the gullet. Then, after the stomach churning food or breaking down food into smaller particles, that food will come to the duodenum. So this part is called duodenum. It's called duodenum. So we say the duodenum receives bile juice from the liver. It also receives pancreatic juice from the pancreas. So pancreatic juice produces, the pancreas produces pancreatic juice, which is brought to the duodenum. We say digestion of fats takes place in the duodenum. As simple as that. So we have the gallbladder, which stores bile juice, which is produced by the liver, and so on. So we look at the pancreas. Now, the pancreas produces pancreatic juice. And pancreatic juice contains three enzymes. The first enzyme is called lipase. The second one is trypsin. The third one is amylase. I repeat, the pancreatic juice contains three enzymes: lipase, trypsin, and amylase. Remember, when you go back to the stomach, we said the stomach has two enzymes with one hydrochloric acid. Now, the two enzymes are renin and pepsin, but pancreatic juice has three enzymes: lipase, trypsin, and amylase. Let's look at functions of each. How is lipase important? Lipase speeds up the digestion of fats. Trypsin speeds up the digestion of proteins. Amylase speeds up the digestion of uncooked starch. So uncooked starch, digestion takes place in the duodenum by the help of amylase. There's a difference between amylase and salivary amylase. Salivary amylase speeds up the digestion of cooked starch in the mouth. Then this one is called amylase or pancreatic amylase. Pancreatic amylase because it is produced by the pancreas, and its major function is to speed up the digestion of uncooked starch. Uncooked starch, we mean starch that has not been cooked. For example, raw cassava, raw sweet potatoes, raw carrots. We have raw. Yes, if you eat sweet potatoes which are raw, eat cassava which is raw, that food is called uncooked starch because you have not cooked it, it's raw. So its digestion takes place in the duodenum. Next, look at digestion of food in the ileum. Now, this diagram here, you can see where the ileum is, then the colon. Now, digestion of food ends in the ileum. Digestion of food ends in the ileum. So when digestion takes place, digestion ends in the ileum and it starts in the mouth. Starts in the mouth, but it ends in the ileum. That's what we are saying, digestion of food ends in the ileum. Then, the ileum also helps in absorption of digested food. Absorption of food takes place in the ileum. So the ileum has to make two major functions. One, it's where digestion of food ends. It's where digestion of food ends, then it helps in absorption of digested food. After food has been digested in the ileum, that food is absorbed into the bloodstream through the ileum. The question is, how is the ileum adapted to food absorption? How the ileum is adapted to food absorption? We say the ileum helps in food absorption, but how does it help in food absorption? It has what's called villi. The ileum has villi, which help in absorbing digested food. It has villi, which helps in absorbing digested food. Then it has thin walls for easy diffusion of digested food. Food diffuses from the ileum to the bloodstream. So it has thin walls for easy diffusion of digested food. Then lastly, it has a network of blood capillaries. It has a network of blood capillaries. The ileum has a network of blood capillaries. Then number 4, it is long and coiled. It is long and coiled to increase surface area for absorption of digested food. NB, something to note. The digestive juice in the ileum is called succus entericus. Succus entericus. This is the name given to the digestive juice in the ileum, or it is also known as intestinal juice. Then we have classes of food and their end product. Proteins, the end product of protein is amino acid. So in other words, what do we mean by end product? When you eat food rich in protein, after digestion has taken place, that digested food that you got from eating food rich in proteins, that end product is called amino acid. So this amino acid is the one which is absorbed into the bloodstream. Then the end product of carbohydrates, if you eat food rich in carbohydrates, for example, if you eat maize, eat posho, if you eat rice, millet, sorghum, that food will be digested. The end product of that food is called glucose. So this glucose is called end product of carbohydrates. Then when fats are digested, their end product is called fatty acids or glycerol. Fatty acids and glycerol. Fatty acids. So fatty acids, end product of fats and oils. Then carbohydrates, the end product is glucose. Then the end product of proteins is amino acids. Then something you need to note. Vitamins, remember all these are classes of food. We have proteins, carbohydrates and fats. Other classes of food we have vitamins and mineral salts. But vitamins and mineral salts are not digested because they are already soluble. They are already soluble, meaning that when you eat fruits, you get vitamins. Now, those vitamins we get from fruits, they are absorbed directly into the bloodstream because they are already soluble. So the question will be asked to you, why are vitamins and mineral salts not digested? They are not digested because they are already soluble. They are already soluble. That's why they cannot be digested. Then you look at the colon. Colon is where absorption of water takes place. So absorption of water takes place in the colon. So when you eat food, food is absorbed from undigested food. Water is absorbed from undigested food in the colon. So after what has been absorbed from undigested food, this undigested food continues up to the rectum. That's why here we are saying the rectum stores undigested food as feces. So the undigested food in the colon are called feces. So they are stored after what has been absorbed out of them. They are stored in the rectum as feces. Then the anus helps to pass out the feces from the rectum. Then next we look at diseases of the digestive system. Diseases of the digestive system. Diseases of the digestive system. Now, the digestive system has some diseases. For example, we have what you call peptic ulcers. Peptic ulcers. These peptic ulcers are also known as gastric ulcers. Gastric ulcers. Then number 2, we have what you call diarrhea. Diarrhea. Number 3, we have a disease called cholera. Cholera. Number 4, we have a disease called typhoid. Then we have dysentery. Then we have what we call appendicitis. Appendicitis. Now, appendicitis, it affects a part called appendix. When you eat food with a lot of stones, those stones, when you swallow with food, those stones are not digested. They go to a part called appendix. If you look at that diagram showing the digestive system, there is a part called appendix. That part stores stones that are swallowed with food. So those stones, when they become food, you start feeling pain at the lower abdomen, and the disease you'll be suffering from is called appendicitis. Then we have another disease called cirrhosis. Cirrhosis. We have another one called colon cancer. Colon cancer. Now, all these are diseases of the digestive system. Colon cancer affects the colon. Cirrhosis affects the liver. Cirrhosis affects the liver. Affects the liver. It affects the liver, and it is caused by excessive drinking of alcohol. It is caused by excessive drinking of alcohol. So when you drink alcohol excessively, alcohol will burn the liver, and you get a disease called cirrhosis. So those are diseases that affect the digestive system. Let's look at disorders of the digestive system. 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 1, we have what you call disorders of the digestive system. Now, we have so many disorders of the digestive system. 1, we have what we call indigestion. Indigestion. Number 2, we have diarrhea. Now, some may be wondering, I've said diarrhea is a disease. Again, here I'm saying diarrhea is a disorder. Why? Diarrhea is both a disease and a disorder. Diarrhea is a disease and a disorder. Disease is caused by bacteria. Then disorder is just a watery stool. Watery stool. That's a disorder. Diarrhea. Then we say indigestion, and indigestion is caused by very many things. Indigestion can be caused because of failure to chew food properly. So if you don't chew food properly, you will get what you call indigestion. You will get indigestion. So you're supposed to chew food properly before swallowing. So we have indigestion, we have diarrhea. You can get diarrhea if you eat food with dirty hands. If you eat food with dirty hands, you will get a disorder called diarrhea. So you're supposed to eat food after washing your hands. Then we have what we call constipation. 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 Constipation is caused by lack of roughages. If you don't eat food rich in roughages, you get a disorder called constipation. Constipation. Then we have vomiting and heartburn. Vomiting, the disorder. Then number 5, we have heartburn. Heartburn. So those are disorders of the digestive system. Then we look at how can one prevent constipation. Constipation can be prevented by eating food rich in roughages. Indigestion can be prevented by chewing food properly before swallowing. We look at how to care for the digestive system. How to care So we look at how to care for the digestive system. One, doing daily physical exercises. Doing daily physical exercises. Doing daily physical exercises. Then number 2, feeding on a balanced diet. Feeding on a balanced diet. Feeding on a balanced diet. Then number 3, having regular meals. This one can help you to avoid peptic ulcers or gastric ulcers. Having regular meals. Chewing food properly before swallowing. Proper chewing of food. Proper chewing of food. Proper chewing of food. Then drinking clean, safe water. Drinking safe water. If you drink water which has germs, you will get diarrhea diseases, you get typhoid, you get diarrhea, you get dysentery, you get cholera and so on. So drinking safe water. Some people say boiled water. You may have boiled water which is not safe. Then avoid drinking alcohol. Avoid drinking alcohol. Avoid drinking alcohol. So these are some of the ways we can care for the digestive system: doing daily physical exercises. This one helps to ease digestion. Feeding on a balanced diet. Having regular meals. This one helps to control ulcers. Proper chewing of food helps to control indigestion. Then drinking safe water. This one helps to control diarrheal diseases like diarrhea, cholera, dysentery, typhoid. Then avoid drinking alcohol. This one helps to control a disease called cirrhosis. Cirrhosis. Now, so that's the end of this topic. Next week we shall look at term 2 work. Term 2 work in our next lesson. So that means that you should come to school and buy term 2 booklets. We are done with term 1. We are introducing term 2 in our next lesson. So come to school, buy term 2 booklets. They are ready, so that in our next lesson you will be following exactly what we shall be studying. Otherwise, thank you so much. God bless you.